In 2015, the Cybercrime Act was passed into law, but in spite of this progress, key stakeholders such as the judiciary and law enforcement agencies are yet to come up to speed in understanding and implementing the law. President of Cybersecurity Association of Nigeria, Remi Afon, joins us to discuss activities in Nigeria's cybersecurity space.
Looking at the cybersecurity situation in the country today, are we in a safe position?
We are not in a safe position to start with, because we face a lot of threats, and there are so many things that are supposed to be in place to make us at least be closer to being safe.
What are those things that should be in place?
First and foremost, we need a proper regulation. We have a cybercrime law, but there are still some other laws that needs to be in place. For instance, we need a data protection law. That will force organizations to be more responsible in keep protecting people's data, and ability to, whenever there's a breach, to be able to make it known that they've gotten a breach. Because a lot of attacks are taking place in this country. A lot of cybersecurity attacks that are not being reported. And that makes organizations to be very responsible. So there's need for responsibility, there's need for governance, and there's need for compliance.
Give us some examples of those attacks that you're talking about.
Some of the attacks that are not reported. I cannot give you those attacks that are not reported because I got them based on confidence. But there are some attacks from telecommunication firms, got it on good record that they've been attacked, and there's a lot of information stolen from them in this country. But obviously, they are not reporting that. Some banks who have got it, that they didn't report that. Some of them do report to CBN, and it's the data that CBN collate together that they publish at the end of the year.
Remi, I'm wondering, the figure that the National Security Advisor said that Nigeria's lost to cybercrime last year, do you think that figure should be higher or lower?
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the attack that took place in Nigeria. So that figure must have been gotten from some sources, those sources probably from the CBN and some other organizations. Well, there are so many cybersecurity breaches and cybersecurity attacks that took place in this country last year that, because they were not reported, so we lost those figures. And that's just cybersecurity breaches within the country, the loss in terms of financial loss within the country. What about the loss to other countries in terms of attacks originating from Nigeria, the damages the cybercrime is causing to some other countries based on the cyber criminals in Nigeria?
As the president of Cybersecurity Association in Nigeria, would you say that we're taking the issue of cybersecurity seriously as a country?
Obviously, Nigeria is not serious about cybersecurity, because as it is now, there is a need to have a body that will be in charge of cybersecurity in this country. And that's what is obtainable in some advanced countries.
Do you mean CERT?
Yes, CERT is one of it. We've got CERT in place.
But is it functional?
It is not working. Go to their website, visit the CERT website. You'll be disappointed. Just visit other CERTs in other countries' website. What kind of threat intelligence are they doing? How do they gather threat information? All this, are they working with stakeholders? These are the things that we need to start asking.
So what do you recommend?
I recommend a comprehensive overhauling of the cybersecurity posture of this country. There's a need, we have a cybersecurity strategy and policy in place that was put together by the previous administration, but we need to implement those strategy and policy. So within that policy and strategy, you discover that there's a provision for CERT and what needs to be done.
Okay, give us an idea of what might happen if we neglect to do what we ought to do.
We have got a lot of critical infrastructure in the country. They can bring it down at any point in time, and things are not going to be working. They can throw in a ransomware somewhere and make sure that things are not getting done until they pay that ransom. So there's a lot of attacks and a lot of damage that cyber criminal can cause to a nation.
Has your association approached any of the government security agencies to see how both parties can collaborate?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to have a kind of partnership with them. And one of the first steps to do that is to obviously visit the National Security Advisor. We've been trying to have audience with him for a very long time now, but we've not been able to do that.
It doesn't sound to me like they're taking your assertion seriously. Why is that?
I'm not sure whether they take us seriously because they don't know the impact of cybercrime.
So mention 5 top cybersecurity threats that you think we face today.
One is ransomware. One is the CEO scam. The CEO scam, obviously, just recently, a 40-year-old guy last year made millions of dollars, and he's a Nigerian, from the CEO scam. Then we have the online assisted kidnapping. What people don't know is that their information online, the information they post, that's what we call geotagging, that's what we call GPS on your phone, which knows your position wherever you are. There's also cyberbullying. That's very common in Nigeria now, and it's getting to a dangerous dimension.
That's the one they do on Twitter and the rest of it.
On Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, people even go to the point of having a video to abuse people and make them feel bad. It's like somebody releasing Nollywood video. You see part 1, part 2, and a lot of people follow them online. So cyberbullying is a very serious issue that we need to know. And it might interest you to know that it's a crime in this country, because the cybercrime law is against cyberbullying. But nobody has been arrested, nobody has been prosecuted. So these are gaps that need to be filled.
Talking about the cybercrime law, a lot of people think that it is tilted more towards the financial services sector. What is your view on that?
I wouldn't agree to that because it's a general law. Apart from financial crime, it also covers some other areas, which I've just mentioned. For instance, the cyberbullying that I've mentioned and stealing of data. It's not only financial data that people steal personal data as well to be able to use it to commit crime. So it's not focused on financial crime alone per se, but because whenever money is involved, people are always interested in that. That's why a lot of people think it's financial related.
So who's responsible to enforce the law?
That's another gap in the law. The law says that all relevant agencies. So what that means is SSS, the Nigerian Police Force, the EFCC. So there's no particular body that is assigned that duty. And that's one of the things that we're advocating for. There should be a body. It might even be within the Nigerian Police Force that will be assigned to, prosecuting cyber criminals and doing a lot of research. There's a need for, that's what we call threat intelligence. The security agencies need to start doing that. They don't need to wait for an attack to happen. They need to be going to the dark web and see what's happening there. And start doing thorough investigation of cyber criminals.
What's your take on blockchain technology?
Blockchain technology is a good technology, and it has come to stay. And the earlier, we start embracing it, the better, because obviously that's going to make currency outdated, all this physical cash outdated.
Don't you think it will encourage money laundering and other vices?
It might encourage money laundering, but if we adopt it properly, there's a way to safeguard that and block, because of the anonymity of the blockchain and the cryptocurrency, but there's a way, that's what we call know your customer in the bank. So before people subscribe into cryptocurrency, obviously you are going to buy, for example, if it's a Bitcoin, you want to buy somewhere. So there should be a way to do that. Some banks in other parts of the world have started embracing it. In fact, there's a particular university in Cyprus that you can pay using Bitcoin.
Thank you for being on TechFest today.
Thank you for having me.
That's it for today's show. Do follow us on social media. Remember, you can watch these and other editions on the channel's TV YouTube account or via my blog cfatech.ng. For Tech Trends, I am Chukwemeka Agbata.